Today we're doing a video that if you've been here for a long time, if you've been a subscriber of mine for 10 plus years, then you probably know that I used to do a lot of weird news. So these videos probably give you some nostalgia, the headline videos where we're just going to look at some headlines of news. And I don't know, if we have no context, we'll kind of just try to speculate what happened. If there is context, then we'll have context. But, you know, context isn't everything. Anyway, this is the headlines video. Let's do it. Some news. In other news... Hey, what's up? Boyfriend who dated 35 women and told each one he had a different birthday so he regularly received gifts is arrested for fraud in Japan. 35 girlfriends? Damn. Like, it's a disrespectful thing that he did, a very disrespectful thing. But also, you gotta respect the grind. 35 girlfriends? How did you keep that in check? Obviously, it blew up in his face, but how long were you able to juggle 35 girlfriends? How the frig did you do that? I'm not inquiring because I want to try to do it. That sounds like a nightmare to me. I have a hard enough time keeping one happy wife, okay? 35 girlfriends? Are you kidding me? That sounds like a heart attack and a stroke waiting to happen. Stress. That's what that sounds like to me. Lots of stress. Especially since I have a guilty conscience, so if I were dating 35 women at the same time, the guilt would be eating me up inside, and I would die of guilt poisoning. But, you know, like I said, respect the grind, I guess. I wonder how much time he got. I wonder how much he owes, because that is fraud. In other news, Florida man robs gas station, leaves job application with identifying information behind. The number one rule of a robbery is never leave anything behind that could identify you, yet Florida thieves lately are having a hard time following that simple guideline. Anthony Thomas is accused of stealing from a gas station in Ocala? Okay. How did cops find him? Oh. He left behind a job application filled out with the correct information. Thomas had been a regular customer at Martin Oil, according to Click Orlando. He went in this week to fill out a job application. It isn't clear whether it was a ruse for the theft or simply killing two birds with one stone. However, when the clerk turned his back on the open cash register, Thomas reached over the counter, grabbed the money, and ran. So you went in there to get a legitimate job, and then you just couldn't help yourself but grab the cash and run. Like, I really believe that it must have been a split-second decision this guy made, because he was filling out his actual information. If you were filling out a job application as a ruse so that you could distract the guy to get away from the cash register or whatever, you'd be filling out fake information. So I think he was probably actually there to fill out a job application, and then he just saw the guy leave the cash register, and he was like, well, it's just too easy to say no. But you gotta think, you just filled out your information. You should have grabbed the application when you ran, but didn't think that one through, did you? I'm not trying to give people tips here, I'm just saying. In other news, Florida man arrested for twisting 2-year-old boy's nipples off. Holy shit. This one sounds vaguely familiar. This one I might have talked about in the past. An inappropriate game of titty twister led to a tragedy in Newport Richey, Florida. 28-year-old Thomas Matheson was arrested Tuesday night after twisting a 2-year-old boy's nipples so hard they actually came off. It was just an innocent, fun game of titty twister, and then it went real sour. See, you couldn't do that to my nipples, because when I was in high school, me and my buddies, we used to titty twister each other all the time, so I have basically just 2 big calluses where my nipples are. Yeah, I wonder if that's why my nipples are always hard. I mean, I'm not trying to get too personal here, but I could cut glass at any time of the day. It's because they've been twisted too much. I've got nipple trauma. I'm suing my friends. I'm still really close with all of them, so. In other news, a South Florida teenager is in jail after he played doctor with real patients for the second time in just over a year, authorities say. Teen arrested after allegedly posing as a gynecologist, giving exams. How? Did you sneak into a doctor's office and just wait in a room for women to come in? Oh, yes, I'm a doctor. Yes. Oh, you've been put to my... Oh, I already saw the doctor. What? No. What a sneaky little teen you are. What a dirty, perverted, sneaky little teen you are. How does that even happen? He does look like a doctor. Like, when you see that picture of him like this, like, he looks legit. Just a young doctor. He looks like a little Neil Patrick Harris. In other news, woke film critic is mocked for accusing Avatar: The Way of Water for cultural appropriation, claiming white actors are cosplaying people of color. What? Okay, here's the post from her. At some point, we gotta talk about the cultural appropriation of Avatar and white actors are cosplaying as people of color, as Pac. It's just a mess and so not necessary, and no amount of visual effects / CGI is gonna erase that. Bad lace fonts / dry synthetic braids, Jesus, fix it! Only 9-foot tall blue aliens can play 9-foot tall blue aliens in movies, apparently. I ain't seen any blue persons complaining about it. I guess they should have hired Smurfs. It's just the agenda. Some people just have to spin something into an agenda. Not everything is offending someone, okay? Not everything in the world can be offensive. Anything that's put out there in the world, someone tries to find something to be offended by it. Everyone is offended by everything. We live in the age of being offended. That's what's happening. Hey, and I'm not saying there's not times when it is completely justified. There are times when it's justified, but there are so many times when people just get offended for the dumbest, stupidest little reason. Ugh. Just do something else with your life. Stop complaining. Yeah, oh, I got one more. In other news, Wells Fargo has fired a vice president accused of urinating on a fellow passenger aboard a flight to New Delhi. What? Wells Fargo labels the reported incident deeply disturbing. Yeah, it is deeply disturbing. I would be deeply disturbed if someone who works for an airline came over and started pissing on me. It's like, oh, the pilot would like to see you. Oh, okay. Why me? He's just taking a shining to you. Don't worry, the tarps are already on the floor. I know the pilot wasn't the one that peed on anyone. That's the most extreme example I can think of. The pilot says he won't land this plane safely unless you let him pee on you. So, look, you're gonna save lots of lives today. Now take off your clothes. Anyway, that's the video, the headline video. I hope you enjoyed it. Now I gotta go do some video editing because I just filmed 3 videos in a row. So, yeah, but I might be putting this one up last, so if you saw 2 previous videos with me wearing a Super Mario shirt, then that means this is the 3rd one. So don't hear me saying that in this one and then think that there's 2 more videos coming after. But now I'm just rambling. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Check out my Patreon, patreon.com/FLuffeeTalks. In other news,